Dear students, Namaste, welcome back. So today I am here with one more illustration on liquidation of companies. So today I am starting illustration number 13. So which has been asked in the year May-June 2010 University of Mysore question paper. So let us look into the problem. The Bad Luck Company Limited went into voluntary liquidation on 30th 6 2007 when the following balance sheet was prepared. Liabilities rupees, assets rupees. Under liability side, share capital nominal to 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, 2 lakh. Issued 14,250 equity shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid. So 14,250 into 10, 1,45,200. Then we have sundry creditors. Preferential, that means preferential creditors, 4,050 rupees. Then we have partly secured creditors of rupees 29,180. Then we have unsecured creditors 77,160. So if you total put together 1,10,390 rupees. Then we have a bank overdraft of rupees 1,160. So if you total, you're going to get 2,56,750 rupees. On the other side, asset side, that is goodwill 30,000, leasehold properties 25,000, plant and machinery 37,400, stock 58,550 rupees, sundry debtors 46,220 rupees. Then we have a cash of rupees 500. Then profit and loss account 59,080 rupees. So both the side total, if you do that, you're going to get 2,56,750 rupees. Now look at the adjustment part. The liquidators realized the assets as follows. Leasehold property, which was used in the first instance to pay the partly secured creditors, pro rata rupees 18,000. Plant and machinery rupees 25,000. Stock rupees 31,000. Sundry debtors rupees 43,500. Cash rupees 500. The expenses of liquidation amounted to rupees 5,000. And the liquidators remuneration was agreed at 4% on the assets realized and 3% on the amount paid to unsecured creditors. You are required to prepare liquidators final statement of accounts. So this is the problem, dear students, which you are supposed to find the solution. So now you must understand problem very carefully. Then we have to move on to the solution part. So let us analyze the problem carefully. So first the company name they have given, and it went into liquidation on 30th June 2007. That is fine. So in the liability side, you have to observe that under share capital, there is a nominal 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, 22 lakh rupees has been given. And you have to observe that 2 lakh rupees has closed immediately with the twin line. It has been closed. That means that nominal 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each is only for the reflection purpose in the problem. So that we are not going to consider anywhere while solving the problem. So we are going to consider issued share capital, that is 14,250 equity shares of rupees 10 each fully paid. So that we are going to consider. And other creditors, sundry creditors, bank overdraft we will consider. And the other hand, in the asset side, what all the assets are there, that is also we will consider. And in the adjustment he has given clearly, so what are all the assets realized and how much the value of those realized assets. And he said especially about leasehold property, which was used in the first instance to pay the partly secured creditors pro rata rupees 18,000 he has given. See, partly secured creditors, while settling, we have to take the first instance that we have to take a leasehold property, so that we are going to settle. So while solving the problem, you are going to understand how to consider that 18,000 rupees. Then rest all remain same, that is plant and machinery 25,000, stock 31,000, sundry debtors 43,500 and cash 500. Then the expenses of liquidation 5,000 rupees, and the remuneration part, if you come, so it is a 4% on the all the assets realized and 3% on the amount paid to the unsecured creditor. So these are the things we have to consider while solving the solution. So let us start the solution part without any further delay. Namaste dear students. So we are now doing the solution for illustration number 13. So I'm already ready with the format, that is a table. So liquidators final statement in the books of bad luck company, particulars rupees, and this is the solution for illustration number 13. Okay, solution for illustration number 13. As you all know that first we are going to write what? Yes, realization of assets. Correct? Yes, realization of assets. So under that first point we are going to write surplus from secured assets. Surplus value of secured assets. See, in this problem, is there any item that is, they said it has been secured, any asset, like land and building has been secured against, creditors or, some loan, or plant and machinery, or any item? No such, right? They have given secured, partly secured creditors, but they have not given secured asset. Correct? So they have not given any secured assets. So when there is no secured asset, this surplus value of secured assets will become nil. In previous problem, yes, we used to deduct that secured creditors from the secured asset value and we used to write the difference. But there are no any secured assets has been given in the problem. So we need not to do any calculation. So surplus value of secured asset is nil. So second we have free assets. Free assets. So which are all the free assets now? So we have a plant and machinery. So I am writing plant and machinery. How much it has been realized for? 25,000. 25,000. Then we have stock 31,000. Stock 31,000. Then we have sundry debtors. Sundry debtors 43,500. Yes, then we have cash. So we should not forget cash. He has given in the adjustment as well. So I am taking that cash. So now I am totaling this. Put together how much? So total this. Put together how much? 25,000 plus 31,000 plus 43,500 plus 500. So that comes to 1 lakh rupees. How much? Yes, 1 lakh rupees. So now in this problem, I am going to introduce one more item in the liquidator's final statement, so that we have not done so far. So what is that? See, in the problem he said, the liquidator realized the assets as follows. Leasehold property which was used in the first instance to pay the partly secured creditors on pro rata rupees 18,000. See, whatever leasehold property we have, So that has to be utilized on a first instance. That means we have to use that leasehold property to settle the secured creditors. Okay, that is partly paid, partly secured creditors, whatever we have in the old balance sheet, that is 29,180 rupees. To settle that, we are supposed to utilize leasehold property which we have, so that is realized for 18,000 rupees. Clear? So now what I am doing here, point C, point C, I am writing sale of leasehold property, sale of leasehold property. For how much it has been sold? It has been sold for 18,000 rupees. It has been sold for 18,000 rupees. So for what we are utilizing this? To clear the partly secured creditors, correct? So partly secured creditors, so that is a leasehold property. Clear? Sale of leasehold property to settle partly secured creditors. So to settle them, so we are using leasehold property of rupees 18,000. Understood? Okay. So now we are further moving to settle the payments. So first we are going to write secured creditors. First we are going to write secured creditors. So we have to settle secured creditors. How much secured creditors? Partly secured creditors they have given, right? So that is partly secured. So which money we are utilizing to settle this? Look at, to settle we are using a leasehold property for partly secured creditors. So how much? 18,000 rupees. So write that 18,000 without any doubt. Clear? Fine. So after this, immediate item is liquidation expenses. Liquidation expenses, how much? 5,000 rupees. Liquidation expenses of rupees 5,000. So next we have liquidators remuneration. Liquidators remuneration. So how much liquidators remuneration is? 4% on all assets realized, they said, correct? 4% on all assets realized. So that we have to calculate. So that is point A, 4% on assets realized. On assets realized. 4% on assets realized. So assets realized is 1 lakh rupees. So you have to deduct 500 because we cannot include cash. So how much then? If you deduct 1 lakh minus 500, so that comes to 99,500 rupees plus 18,000 rupees, that is partly secured creditors. 18,000. Understood? So now add both 99,500 plus 18,000 rupees. So that comes to how much? 1,17,500. 1,17,500 into 4%. 1,17,500 into 4 divided by 100. That comes to 4,700 rupees. So that is 4% on assets realized is 4,700. How 99,500? We have to deduct cash. We should not include cash. So 1 lakh minus 500, 99,500 and 18,000 rupees, that is sale of leasehold property. So put together 1,17,500 into 4%, that comes to 4,700. Okay. Next is 3% on unsecured creditors. 3% on unsecured creditors. He has given in the problem directly, point B. 3% on unsecured creditors. So how much unsecured creditors is? Unsecured creditors, they have said in the problem 77,160, correct? So 77,160 into 3%. 77,160 into 3%. That comes to 2,314.8. So that I am writing it as a 2,315. If you calculate 2,315 rupees I am writing. Actually it comes to 2,314 rupees 80 paise. So what I have done, I have rounded it off. Okay. So whenever they says about unsecured creditors, you should not forget preferential creditors. If there is any preferential creditors, on that also you have to pay 3%. Okay. So now I am calculating point C, 3% on preferential creditors. Why preferential creditors we always consider? Because preferential creditors is also nothing but unsecured creditors. So how much preferential creditors he has given in the problem? Preferential 4,050 rupees into 3%. 3 divided by 100. Calculate 4,050 into 3%. That comes to 121.5. 121 rupees 50 paise. So I am writing it as a round figure, 121 rupees. So 121 rupees. So we are done with the calculation of liquidators remuneration. Now calculate how much? 4,700 plus 2,315, 2,315 plus 121. Put together 7,136. How much? 7,136 rupees. Okay. So we are done with the settlement of liquidators remuneration. Okay. So after this we have to settle one by one all the liabilities. So first we are going to settle preferential creditors. Preferential creditors. How much? 4,050 rupees. Just now we have seen, right? 4,050 rupees. So I have settled them. Next, let us settle unsecured creditors. Unsecured creditors. How much unsecured creditors? Look at the problem. 77,160. Unsecured creditors. 77,160 rupees. 77,160 rupees. So next we have bank overdraft. So let us settle that also. Bank overdraft. So how much bank overdraft? 1,160 rupees. 1,160 rupees. Bank overdraft 1,160 rupees. See, dear students, in this problem there is no much complication. It is one of the simplest problem. Why? See, there are no preference shareholders in this problem, so you need not to calculate dividends and outstanding dividends. There is no any debenture, so you need not to calculate interest on debenture. You need not to calculate any interest on debentures. So everything is settled now. So nothing left. So only we have to distribute the amount to the equity shareholders. So now, before settling them, what we are supposed to do? We should do the total. Correct. So here, if you look at on the realization part, debit side, we have 1 lakh rupees assets realized and 18,000 rupees of sale of leasehold property. So put together how much the total is? 1 lakh 18,000. So what we are going to do it? We are going to write it in a pencil. So 1 lakh 18,000 rupees. Clear? So now on the payment side, so that is credit side of the table we have to consider. So let us check out how much money we have paid so far. 18,000 rupees to secured creditors, that is partly secured. Then 5,000 rupees of liquidation expenses. Then 7,136 rupees of liquidators remuneration. Then 4,050 rupees of preferential creditors, then 77,160 of rupees to unsecured creditors, then bank overdraft 1,160. So total we have paid 1,12,506 rupees. So that is the total expenditure. So 1,18,000 rupees we got the amount from the realization of assets, and we are supposed to pay 1,12,506. So now deduct this and find the difference. So that is 1,18,000 minus 1,12,506. So how much you have got? 5,494 rupees balance. We have 5,494 rupees. So total 1,18,000 rupees both the side. So this is the amount left with us. See, in other cases when we have 2 or 3 types of shareholders, so we used to calculate cash brought in and cash paid to the equity shareholders working note. But here we don't have any such kind of complications in this problem. But still we have to do a working note, one small working note, that how much amount to be distributed among equity shareholders. For that we have to do a working note. So it is exactly 5,494 rupees we are going to do it, but we have to show it in a calculation. So let us do the calculation now. So I am doing the working note now. So let us start working note number 1. We are doing the working note number 1. So what is the heading you are going to give? What is the heading? Calculation of amount to be brought in or paid to the equity shareholders. That is what we are going to calculate, correct? So that is calculation of amount to be brought in or paid to the equity shareholders. Calculation of amount to be brought in or paid to the equity shareholders. Okay, amount to be brought in or paid to the equity shareholders. So first we are going to write total paid up equity share capital. Write down total paid up equity share capital. So look at the problem, and in the balance sheet liability side, so that is paid up equity share capital. So how much that is? Issued 14,250 equity shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid. 14,250 equity shares of rupees 10 each, fully paid. Amount is 1,45,200. So how much paid up capital then? 1,45,200 rupees. 1,45,200 200 rupees less cash available. Cash available. So how much cash available for equity shareholders? Cash available for equity shareholders. How much? We have calculated, right? So we have only 5,494 rupees. 5,494 rupees. So now deduct. So how much you are going to get? Out of 1,45,200 minus 5,494. So that comes to 1,39,706 rupees. 1,39,706 rupees is the loss. So that is how much? 1,39,706 rupees. So this is a loss. So loss to be borne by equity shareholders. Equity shareholders. Loss to be borne by equity shareholders. 1,39,706. So now how much loss to be borne by equity shareholders? So for that we have to check. How to check? Loss per share equals total loss divided by total number of shares. You all remember this formula, right? So loss per share equals total loss divided by total number of shares. So according to the calculation, how much is the loss? 1,39,706. So 1,39,706 divided by total number of shares, how much? 14,250 shares. So 14,250 shares, directly it is there. So now divide that. 1,39,706 divided by 14,250 shares. So the loss per share is 9 rupees 80 paise. Loss per share is 9 rupees 80 paise. So 9.80 per share loss. Okay. So again, once again, I'll reconfirm. 1,39,706. 1,39,706 divided by 14,250. So that comes to 9 rupees 80 paise per share is the loss. Okay. So now amount to be paid or brought in, so that we have to check out. Working note number 2. Amount to be brought in or paid to the equity shareholders. Equity shareholders. So now how much is the paid up? Rupees 10 each fully paid. They have paid rupees 10. But loss per share is 9 rupees 80 paise. 9 rupees 80 paise. So the difference is how much then? So the difference is 20 paise, 0.20 into 14,250. So if you do that, 0.20 into 14,250, how much you are going to get? You are going to get somewhere we have done the mistake. Let us rectify. 1,39,706. 1,39,706 divided by Number of shares 14,250. So that comes to 9 rupees 80 paise and so on. Okay. So if you deduct that from 10 rupees, so you are going to get 0.196070 into 14,250. If we do that, we are going to get 49. So we have a difference of rupees 5,494. So 1,45,200 minus 5494, 1,39,706. That should be divided by 14,250 shares. So per loss per share we are going to get 9 rupees 80 paise. 9 rupees 8.09 rupees 9.8039, 1,39,706 divided by 14250 minus 10. If I do that into 14,250. 2794. Students, I was worrying about the problem is not tallying. So then I just wanted to recheck the problem. See, there is a small error which I have, typo error has been done. See, look at the problem where I have highlighted that in a red line. Issued 4,250 equity shares of rupees 10 each. So if you multiply 4,250 into 10, how much it should come? 4,250 into 10, it should come 1,42,500. So, but actually it is 1,45,200. So, what you have to do is 1,45,200 divided by 10. So, total number of share capital is 14,520, not 14,250. So, change it as a 14,520 shares. How much? 14,520 shares. So then only we are going to get a correct answer. Otherwise, we don't get the correct answer. So, because in the amount column 1,45,200 rupees, the face value of the share is 10 rupees. So now 1,45,200 divided by 10 rupees. If you do that, total number of shares is 14,520 shares. It is not 14,250 shares. Understood? It is 14,520 shares of rupees 10 each. 14,520 shares of rupees 10 each. So if we do that, I think now we are going to get the problem is going to get tallied. So let us change it and resolve the problem. Small typo errors, does a lot of mistake. Here also we would have thought 1,45,200 is the share capital. If we divide this by 10, so total number of shares would be 1,45,200 divided by 10, 14,520 shares. How much I have written here? 14,250. So this is where we have done a mistake. So it should be 14,520. So if you want to cross check it, now you can do the cross checking. That is 14,520 into 10, that comes to 1,45,200. So now divide this 1,39,706 divided by 14,520. So that comes to 9 rupees 62 paise. 9.6216 I am taking. 9 rupees 62 9 rupees 62 paise 16, so that point figure is going on. So now in the working note number 2, amount to be brought in or paid by the equity shareholders. So you have to change this. So I'm going to write it in the next line. So that is 10 minus 9.6216. So deduct now 10 minus 9.6216. That comes to 0.3784. 0.3784 into how many number of shares? 14,250 shares. Sorry, again I'm doing this. 14,520 shares. So 0.3784 into 14,520 shares. So that comes to 5,494 rupees. 5,494 rupees amount paid to equity shareholders. So this is amount paid to equity shareholders. 5,494. So now how much is the answer we got? 5494. How much is the difference? 5494. So what I do now, I will erase it in the what I have written in the pencil. So and I'm going to write it in the pen. So 5494. Okay, so to equity shareholders 5494. So now both the side total got tallied. So that is 1,18,000, 1,18,000. See, if we do a small single error also, so problem will not get tallied. So that you should be very careful on that part. Okay, 1,18,000 and 1,18,000. Small error, that was a typo error. Instead of 520 shares, what I have written as 250 shares. So even that small errors will teach us how much accuracy should be there and how much we should be careful while solving the problem. Okay, so 1,18,000, 1,18,000, the problem got tallied. So we are done with the illustration number 13. So if you have any doubts, as usual, you can reach me out over a phone or WhatsApp or comment section. You can use any mode so that you will get to understand this kind of problems thoroughly. Actually, this is one of the simple problems so far which we have solved, but because of that small typo error, entire problem got stuck. So we should be very careful while solving and while reading the problem. Okay, so anyways, we'll stop here and we'll get back to soon with one more problem. So until then, take care, see you soon, bye bye.